Hey web surfers, you've come to YouTube and now you found me. I'm Kenzie Chaos and welcome to my channel. Boo! Happy Halloween everyone. So I'm a vampire bride thing. Evil. So with it being Halloween, I've been looking at loads of videos of Halloweeny stuff, and Amazing Phil on YouTube does, well, he did a thing last year called the Ghost Story game, and you had to write down, say, like numbers 1 to 13 on a piece of paper, and then each number would correspond to a thing. So say number 1 might correspond to an object, number 2 a piece of furniture, and etc. And so he did 3 of these stories called The Haunting, The Abduction and Z-Day, and I filled in all of them. But first, before you hear my amazing stories, we did some Halloween pumpkin carving. Pumpkin, pumpkin, we're carving a pumpkin. Well, I'm not, I'm just watching my mum carve a pumpkin. But still technically carving a pumpkin. What face are we doing? Where's the face? Face is on the phone. Where's the phone? I don't know.
Phone's on there.
The phone's over there. I'm going to show you the face of the pumpkin when I find it. It's there. Evil. Yeah, it's not that scary, but hopefully, yeah, it'll look kind of evil and scary. Maybe. That's the pumpkin when it's outside. Look how dark it is. It's really dark. And then we have the magic pumpkin. It looks more evil now. Yeah, so it looks evil. Spooky! So that was our amazing pumpkin. So the first story that I'm going to do is The Haunting. On this one you had to write down numbers 1 to 13, and these were the words that I got. Kenzie, toilet, car, study, Alfie Days, buttermilk, happy, Alfie Days again, eagle, toaster, boob, coffee machine and Oprah. What story could possibly be made out of those? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. So get some spooky lighting and prepare for the haunting. My name is Kenzie. One night I was sleeping on my toilet when I heard an eagle noise. Caw! It was coming from my study. I don't even have a study. I opened the door and saw Alfie Day's pointless blog was dead on the floor, covered in buttermilk. I felt happy. Why would I feel happy at one of my favourite YouTubers' death? I don't know. I tried to escape, but then I saw the ghost of Alfie blocking the door and making the sound of an eagle. I threw a toaster at it, but it bounced off the wall and hit me in the boob and I died. In my new life as a ghost, I possess a coffee machine and I haunt Oprah. What an interesting story. I'm sorry, Oprah, and I really hope you don't have a coffee machine that you use a lot. Or else I'm just gonna, like, haunt you forever. Okay, so the next one is the abduction. The words that I got from 1 to 12 were Kenzie, drawers, tigers, toe, Phil Lester, donkey, yes, leg, lampshade, deathly pale, One Direction, and Kazboozlebam. That's not even a word, is it? So prepare for the abduction. My name is Kenzie. Still. One night I was eating my favourite snack, drawers, when the room filled with a bright light and a strange smell of tigers. I was beamed into the sky. It made my toes tingle. I was greeted by a terrifying alien. It looked like Phil Lester, Amazing Phil mixed with a donkey, screaming the word yes. That's a horrible ugh, that's a horrible mental image. I'm just not going to think of that ever again. Then began the experiments. They removed my leg and replaced it with a lampshade. When I awoke the next day and looked in the mirror, I was no longer human. I looked deathly pale. They mated me with One Direction in an egg sac to begin colonising the new alien world, which I named Kazboozlebam. That's like my worst nightmare. Really? They couldn't have mated me with like Green Day or something? They had to mate with me One Direction? That's scarier than the story. And now, the final story, Z-Day. The words that I got were, from 1 to 15. 3, Harry Styles, that, finger, Kenzie, let's guess what that's going to be. Dan Howell, Empire State Building, 7, books, bookcase, Dan Howell, again, toe, hand, Scotland, and Coca-Cola. These words are getting stranger as they go along, I swear to God. Prepare for Z-Day. It's been 3 months since Z-Day. The infection began when Harry Styles kissed the diseased bat on the finger. See, that gets him back for mating with me. He deserves to start Z-Day. Of course it's his fault. My name is Kenzie. Seriously, my name's not gonna change. Me and Dan Howell, Dan is not on fire, have been living in the Empire State Building for 7 days. One day, a zombie horde broke through the back door where I keep my books. My books are involved. I was butchering them with my trusty bookcase. I don't know how a bookcase would help. It'd be very hard though. Till I slipped and hit Dan in the toe. Interesting. In my shock, a zombie bit my hand off. Scary. I will spend the rest of my days wandering across Scotland and devouring the living. It turned out the cure was an injection of Coca-Cola, but it was too late. Well, I'll know to keep Coca-Cola in my back room instead of books, so that I can inject myself and not die. Spooky! Anyway, on a lighter note, after all that weirdness and spookiness, we're on to this week's Dan and Phil weekly poll. This question this week was, comment what you think Dan and Phil would say to Delia Smith if they ever met her. Well, they're obsessed with Delia Smith, although this Halloween they betrayed her with Nigella Lawson. If you don't understand that, then you need to go onto Dan and Phil's channel and search Halloween baking, and they made Halloween cupcakes, and you'll understand what I mean. So, they basically worship her. This is what some people said. Katie Sugarfoot Griffiths, they said they will both say, "Oh Lord Delia, we worship you," and then perform a satanic Delia ritual. Thanks, Dan Hal, for telling me there's a skeleton inside me. Oh, for God's sake. Meg Craig said, "Ah, Delia, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Sophie Barr said they'd just faint and wouldn't even say anything. And Connie Rao did a script for us. Dan passes out. Delia Smith, is he okay? Phil, yeah, he's just anxiety issues. He'll wake up soon. Delia Smith, okay. Phil, pancakes. Pancakes? That was a question mark. Delia Smith, Delia Smith's pancakes? Dan wakes up, Delia Smith pancakes, I'm in, sees Delia and then passes out again. Delia and Phil drag him to a kitchen, then Dan wakes up and says, "Oh my frigging God, Delia Smith." What are you doing?
Boo!
What are you doing?
I'm going to light the pumpkin.
Okay, just leave for a moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, go. that was my mum. You've just had the pleasure of meeting my mother at her normalist. Yeah, that's why I'm as crazy as I am. Anyway, see you next week, guys. Happy Halloween.